For most retail participants, the modern market is a blind collision of fragmented data, unverified rumors, and emotional reactions. Surviving this environment requires the same level of discipline and systematic architecture found at the institutional level. The PHIQUENCE Trading Hub is a governed command center designed to enforce that systematic operation. Before you are allowed to view a single chart, the system stops you at the gate. You must actively confront the exact risk parameters and your operational responsibilities. Creating this initial point of friction is a deliberate design choice. It forces you to pause and internalize the danger of the market up front. This mandatory gateway of discipline prepares you to move from a reactive state into the role of a calculated operator. Once inside, you access the Market Explorer. You select a specific live market pair, and the raw data feeds into the analytical environment. Here, the platform applies smart money concepts. This is an analytical framework designed to filter out the retail noise and expose the actual footprints of institutional capital. This chart shows how the system maps a shaded liquidity zone over these recent price peaks, visualizing exactly where large pools of capital are currently trapped or waiting to be triggered. Next, it identifies a break of structure. When the price forcefully snaps through a previous low, the platform tags it to confirm a mathematically valid shift in market momentum. Finally, it isolates an order block. By projecting a line forward from one specific historical candlestick, we can pinpoint the exact moment large-scale orders were injected into the system. Visualizing these hidden structural mechanics allows you to base your execution on verifiable institutional logic rather than random price action. Even with advanced chart structures, manual human analysis remains inherently subjective and vulnerable to bias. To counter this, the platform routes your entire analysis through the AI Intelligence Center, an objective, high-speed neural network. The engine rapidly cross-references real-time volatility metrics against decades of historical trend data. It synthesizes all of this into a definitive confidence metric. This acts as the ultimate mathematical validator for your manual thesis. Fusing human strategic planning with machine-speed algorithmic validation creates a mathematical cross-check against individual bias before capital is ever risked. The final barrier before a trade goes live is the mandatory interception by the risk calculator. This diagram illustrates total account capital. When you input your balance, the system autonomously slices it into a strict, stage-based allocation plan. This forced allocation prevents you from over-leveraging your account on any single setup. You confirm the calculated parameters, and the trade is locked into the live market. The interface immediately shifts to live monitoring. Countdown timers, real-time analytics, and dynamic charts run in perfect synchronization to track your exact position. This rigid sequence guarantees that your risk is managed by cold mathematics rather than momentary panic. Once a trade concludes, it converts into a permanent, trackable data point. The platform's real-time analytics and history databases compile this performance data into visual reports. These individual results are then routed to the affiliate and team command centers to scale your operations into a larger network structure. This map visualizes how the structure scales. It tracks team growth, participation statistics, and how data flows expand outward from a single central node to multiple international regions. These macro-level tools allow you to manage trading as a professional, globally scalable business. Every layer of the Trading Hub exists to enforce risk management and absolute operational discipline. At its core, the platform's architecture uses a systematic, intelligent framework to effectively organize market chaos into clear, actionable data. True financial balance and real growth are achieved only through the relentless application of intelligence, precision, and flawless execution. To navigate modern digital finance, traders often find themselves bouncing between completely disconnected systems. You check charts on one screen, run analytics on another, and execute trades on a third. Jumping across these separate environments creates heavy friction. Every time you switch context to check a different metric or adjust capital, you lose valuable cognitive focus. In markets where milliseconds matter, that delay degrades your reaction time. The PHIQUENCE Trading Hub solves this fragmentation by pulling everything into a single, cohesive environment. It centralizes charting, artificial intelligence, and trade execution into one unified digital workspace. Accessing this workspace requires passing through a strict initialization phase. Before any capital moves, users must clear a consent protocol that clearly outlines platform rules, user responsibilities, and specific market risks. Consolidating these disparate tools directly eliminates the friction of context switching. It acts as a critical survival mechanism, preserving your mental bandwidth so you can maintain absolute focus during high-speed market fluctuations. Once inside, the platform immediately streams live market conditions to the dashboard. Real-time volume, precise price fluctuations, and key market statistics pipe directly into the command center. Looking at this generated chart, we can see how the system visualizes smart money concepts. It automatically maps the market structure and isolates specific liquidity zones and major order blocks directly onto the candlesticks. Using that highlighted data, the platform then tracks structural shifts in real time. It calculates the exact threshold for a break of structure and identifies precise reversal points through a change of character. All of this visual data feeds straight into an onboard AI intelligence center. Neural networks process the chart mechanics to output distinct trend scores, current volatility ratings, and statistical confidence metrics for any given setup. From there, you move to execution. You input your specific capital parameters into the system's calculator, review the AI-supported metrics, and lock in the trade variables. Combining that machine-speed structural analysis with human confirmation allows traders to achieve actual, repeatable precision at the individual level. Winning a single trade is mathematically insignificant over the long term without a structural defense mechanism. Isolated wins degrade quickly if they aren't protected by strict systemic discipline. This block diagram illustrates the platform's risk management center. It takes your central capital reservoir and actively segments it into isolated risk pools, enforcing strict limits on individual accounts to prevent systemic contagion from a single bad position. Every action taken within those limits is automatically logged. The system archives completed operations into a secure database, translating past performance and closed positions onto a fully searchable, visual timeline. Enforcing strict risk parameters and meticulously logging every outcome turns an inherently volatile activity into a highly disciplined, completely measurable operation. Once that baseline discipline is secured for the individual trader, the platform's architecture shifts outward. The environment is built to scale up, moving from single accounts to large, multi-tiered organizational teams. Inside the affiliate command center, structural visualizers map out direct referral networks, branching outward into distinct tiers. Leaders zoom in to specific clusters to monitor members, as nodes track real-time activity, volume, and performance in that tier. As the organization grows, it forms a larger generation network. The platform manages this massive scaling by linking thousands of active nodes across deeper layers, ensuring data remains accurate regardless of network size. The Team Analytics module pulls all of that sprawling nodal data together. It aggregates the numbers into clean growth charts and comprehensive performance reports for the entire structure. Supplying independent participants with these institutional-grade analytical tools gives them the exact infrastructure needed to operate as a single, highly cohesive organization. Zooming out from the organizational view reveals the macro perspective. Individual networks link together across continents, forming a complete interconnected global ecosystem. None of the components we've examined are isolated plugins. The AI market analytics, the rigid risk protocols, and the expanding affiliate networks are entirely integrated directly into one core infrastructure. As global data continuously flows through this infrastructure, it feeds back into the system. Every transaction reinforces the platform's live liquidity mapping and sharpens its overall operational intelligence. For a system of this scale to function, intelligence, precision, and execution cannot happen in silos. They have to operate in absolute synchrony. Achieving actual financial balance and measurable, sustainable growth requires aligning every single micro-action within this massive, synchronized digital structure.